It's quite a difficult task, actually, to contemplate the fact that after 41 and a half years, you're going to be leaving this wonderful organisation called the Defence Force. And when I think about where it all started, when I tried to join the Royal Air Force as a very young man, and I passed all the tests, and they said, but there's one issue, you're a little bit tall, we need to put you in a cockpit. And I went down and did the cockpit check, and I got into the aircraft, and I sat in the seat. The ejection handle was in the middle of my neck, and the flight doctor said, look, see, you're too tall. Years later, when I joined the Royal Australian Air Force, I suddenly realised that he'd made a huge mistake. He hadn't realised that you always leave the ejection seat in the fully up position. And so I could have fitted into that aircraft in the UK, but I didn't pass the test. I gave up all thought of flying, and I decided that I'd come to Australia. I arrived in Australia with less than $100, a suitcase, and I guess a lot of dreams. And I went out to Muckenbuden, and I'm very pleased the Defence Minister can pronounce it. A number of other people in the room might have some difficulty with it. It means Aboriginal place of no water, but it was a wonderful place, and I learned a lot about Australia there. Indeed, I fell in love with Australia in that wonderful little place. And I went farming. The first year we had a flood, we couldn't get onto the land. And the second year we had a drought, and I lost a lot of money because by then I had a share in the outcomes of the farm. And I decided that, somebody's trying to tell me something here. And I was down in Perth one day, and I said, oh, look, there's the recruiting office for the Royal Australian Air Force. And I went along, went in the office. I said, what's your height limit? And they said, 6'4". I said, well, would you just measure me? So anyway, I went in, and this little fellow pulled up the old measures that we had then, and he was struggling up here, and I just slouched a little bit, and I came in at 6'2.5". So that's how I joined the Royal Australian Air Force, and that's why I'm here today. I might add, when I left the farm, I had a farewell, and I just hope that this farewell tonight does not result in the same sort of outcome as happened at that farewell. Let me tell you what happened. I decided to organise a little farewell in a little bush hall that they built in the 1930s. It was called Carloning. And to get in there was a little windy track. And I thought it was important that apart from the keg, that we would have some music for some of my friends who were coming along. So that was organised. The problem was getting the piano from town into Carloning Hall. That was duly achieved in my utility. And then we had a great night, I must say, a very long night. And at the end of the night, in the wee small hours of the morning, everybody started to disappear. And I said, look, before we all disappear, we need to load the piano onto my ute because I promised to get it back tomorrow morning. We did that. I had a sleep. I woke up in the blaze of the West Australian summer sun. I thought, I've got to get that piano back to Muckenbuden, back to the owners. And I went down the bush track. It was very windy. I went round one corner. The ute lurched, and all of a sudden I heard an almighty boom. And I thought, this is a bad dream. No, it wasn't a bad dream. The piano had fallen over the side of the ute and was in 1,000 pieces. So anyway, that made me even poorer than I already was. And a short time later, I got a telegram saying you're accepted to join the Royal Australian Air Force, and I guess the rest is history.